starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. This is the big story. We've got First Alert weather days for tomorrow and Saturday. Some of the coldest air in years about to move in. Major Arctic blast having an impact across the country. And we're looking at over 80 hours below freezing for many areas here. Looks like a high of only 22 degrees for tomorrow. Low down to around 10 going into early on Christmas Eve up to 27, 15 Christmas morning. And just possibly we can make it just above freezing there on Christmas Day. But again, I think for a lot of areas, we're going to stay below freezing through Monday of next week. But that's one of the big stories here. Let's check out some of those First Alert weather headlines as well with this Arctic blast. And the wind speeds are going to be a big concern out there tonight with gusts over 30 miles per hour. I can't rule out a few random power outages. And this is something you just don't want to play around with those possibilities on the table with temperatures that could be as low as single digits to the north tomorrow morning. Wind chills as low as minus 15. I certainly would have a plan in the event that there are some random outages, especially if you live in one of those areas where it seems like the lights flicker every time a limb moves. Just play it safe and make sure you have an alternative heat source. And you know, thinking about things like space heaters, please consider space heater safety. Be extra careful out there and just pay close attention to this forecast as well here over the next couple days. I do expect the freezing line to be in northwest areas by 8 o'clock, and then it looks like the chance for some showers could be ending with some flurries. I want to show you what First Alert AccuTrack radar looks like right now. Meteorologist Tania Michelle here on the radar controls, and what we're going to do is zoom in, Tania, here over West Alabama, and what you're seeing is all rain, no frozen precipitation just yet, but you can see it's really starting to fill in here across places like Millport and into Reform. There's Fayette, and you can see there pretty good coverage of wet weather, but all of this moving southwest and northeast, and it looks like Marion County a nice soaking right now at the moment, but we're starting to see some of these showers pushing into parts of Jefferson County as well. Birmingham getting a little bit of rain right now, so before you head out the door this evening, going to make a grocery store run or wrap up some of that holiday shopping this evening, I'd certainly grab the umbrella. And you still have some time here before that really frigid air reaches you here around Birmingham and East Alabama. Where is that really cold stuff? Well, it's back in here over North Mississippi. This is all snow that is falling. I checked out a report a few moments ago. Our buddy Ryan Vaughn with our station there out of Jonesboro, and snow was really coming down in those areas. That's a heavy pocket of snow, but you can see that the way that's oriented, it stays mainly north. South of that, we've got just some flurries. So the main impacts from winter precipitation is going to be north. But when this cold air moves in tonight, it's going to squeeze every last bit of moisture out of the air. So I still think before the night's over with, most areas have a pretty good chance of seeing at least a few snow flurries as this tapers off later on tonight. Could we end up with some problems on the roads? That's a big question. I think most roads are going to be dry. This is unlike Snowmageddon. We're not in a situation where this could surprise us. In this particular case, Snowmageddon, we had moisture moved in from the south. In this situation, the cold air is chasing the moisture. So the moisture is going to be moving out of here, and just like a big plow, it's going to push all the clouds, all the showers off to the east. I know we're talking about some cold weather, but at least the sun will be shining over the next few days across our area. Let me go back to our other system here and just to show you, I've got some information regarding where we could see some of those snow flurries tonight, and a greater chance will be over the far northern third of the state. If I had to pick any portion of our area where we could see maybe a brief burst of snow, I'd say around Hamilton, Brilliant, perhaps Haleyville, around Smith Lake, Coleman County, and into Blount County for this evening. But again, those are areas where if we did have a couple of spots, maybe some leftover puddles, we'd have to watch out for some black ice there during the early morning. But look at the wind gust here. At one point a few moments ago, I noticed the winds were gusting over 40 miles per hour back in across the western portions of Mississippi. So those gusty winds will be a factor here later on tonight. Look at this. There's 7 by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. That wind is going to be whipping across our area from west to east. So a very windy night. And again, with those kind of winds, we need to be alert for possible outages in a few areas. In the morning, 6 a.m., The winds are still 20+ miles per hour. That's why early in the day tomorrow, we're concerned about wind chills dropping down into the negative range early in the day. Again, we have declared tomorrow a first alert weather day. If you scan that code, open the camera on your mobile device and scan that code, that will take you to a one-stop page. We've got all you need to know about preparations for the cold, winterization, also some shelter information. We have a list of shelters there for folks to stay warm and check on friends, check on loved ones. I always say check on the pets as well. Make sure everyone has a warm shelter here with this deep freeze. Looking at, I think I mentioned earlier, coldest Christmas since 1989 around this area. But we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those cold weather preps, and we're actually going to speak to the man himself, Santa Claus, coming up here. So we've got a lot coming up on this edition of First Alert Weather Extra. We've got winter weather safety, and we're going to take a look at that holiday weekend. So stay with us.
Adopt an angel and help a child in need.
We're making it easy this holiday season for you to give back through the WBRC Fox 6 News Gifts for Kids Salvation Army Angel Tree program.
There are many ways you can adopt an angel now through December 5th.
In person at the outlet shops at Grand River or the River Chase Galleria.
Online at birminghamsalvationarmy.org.
At participating Chick-fil-A Stuff the Bus location.
Or the Walmart online registry.
For more information, visit WBRC.com and our WBRC News app.
Donate today.
The Birmingham Waterworks story is one we've been on for years and breaking some stories lately that are getting some results. Starting with the Waterworks Board deciding they may not raise your rates as much as they had first thought because of pushback from ratepayers based on our reporting. And then with the attention we brought to this, the Attorney General's office is stepping in, demanding hundreds of pages of documents before the utility does anything about raising your rates. We've been on your side on this story. We'll stay on your side. You stay with us on our WBRC News app.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your first alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert. Welcome back into Weather Extra, and again, First Alert weather days for tomorrow and Saturday for the extreme cold, major Arctic blast impacting the country. I want to head over to Tania. Tania, this weekend, it just looks like, you know, with this cold, we're probably in most areas going to stay below freezing at least through Monday.
Yes, you're exactly right. We're going to see it throughout the entire weekend, so we want to make sure that people are well prepared. If you haven't already, well, the time is getting very, very close for that cold air to start sweeping through our area. So we want to make sure that you're remembering the 4 P's. First of all, the people, making sure you check in on your friends and your family, making sure they have a warm place to stay, and also just warm equipment, whether that's a space heater, blankets, and anything that can keep them warm for the late hours of the night and even during the day as we head into this weekend with temperatures only in the teens. Also checking in with your pets, making sure they're indoors for tonight and also the next couple of days as well too. Dripping those pipes so that they don't freeze or burst with those freezing temperatures that we're going to be seeing. And then also covering those plants, perhaps bringing them inside. So here's why we want to protect those pipes from the extreme cold, because the way we can protect those pipes, is by adding insulation to cold prone areas. So if you have pipes that are more sensitive or an older home, well, you can put some insulation material around it so that they don't burst. Like a pipe sleeve can be installed on your pipes. Another thing that you can do to prevent those pipes from bursting is cover any exposed spigots, remove, drain, and store any outdoor hoses. So you want to make sure that those are no longer in those cold environments. Take them inside, store them somewhere where it won't be as cold. All right. And so another way, our last and final way, is to keep the heat on. And even if you're not going to be at home for the holidays this weekend, at least least have your temperature set in your home for 55 degrees. We don't want it to get any colder than that because, hey, that won't be a safe conditions for things in your home, just like your pipes. And then also allow cold water to drip from your faucets just a little bit, especially if you're going to be away from your house and not using that. So here is another quick run through for how you can protect those pipes. Remove, drain, and store those outdoor hoses. Consider insulating them. Let cold water drip from those faucets. Open your kitchen and bathroom cabinets, and then also leave the heat on in your house, or don't allow your temperature in your home to get lower than 55 degrees. Now, next thing we're going to talk about is space heater safety, okay? So place that space heater on the floor, anywhere that's non-flammable, okay? Keep at least 3 feet away from anything flammable, so don't put those space heaters near candles, especially candles, okay? Plug directly into an outlet, so don't use extension cords, and then also turn it off if you're going to leave a room, and especially before you go to sleep. Now, you might need that space heater as you're sleeping, but if you do, just make sure that it's in a safe spot and not near anything that could make it flammable, okay? So we are seeing this cold weather lasting throughout the entire weekend. Now, for how long? Well, we've been talking about this, that we're going to see over 80 hours of below freezing temperatures from Friday into your Monday. Now, Monday, we're going to start to see things warm back up above freezing. They won't be as cold, but this weekend is what we're preparing for, okay? So the next 24 hours, let's walk through those temperatures. We're going to see them drop after about 9 p.m. We're going to see that cold air start to filter through central Alabama, dropping those temperatures below freezing, and then overnight into the single digits possibly. You can see here by 11 a.m., 9 degrees in Gadsden, 8 degrees if you're in Coleman, and where there could be the most likely area to see snow flurries or the chance for some snow over Marion County and Hamilton. Temperatures there only at 9 degrees. So we've got a cold couple of days ahead of us, especially tonight. This is the start of it. So make sure that you're doing everything you can right now to prepare. Now, Wes, I hope you have protected your home in ways that you can for this cold weather. And I know you're going out of town, so are you planning to keep your heat up?
We're going to have the cabinets open, the faucets dripping. I've got the spigots covered as well. And I never will forget in the 80s, we had over in Tuscaloosa, where I grew up, we had a situation like this. We had the freezing temperatures, the power went out, and I just remember it was so cold. And you just, you get into those situations, and then at that point you're like, well, I wish I would have done this or had this plan in place. And that's why now is just such a critical time. I would make sure, if you haven't done so, it never hurts, just store some extra water just in case we do have a couple of outages in some areas out there tonight. The one good thing is this will not accompany an ice storm, so that's one good thing. It's just going to be cold, very windy, but hopefully we get through this with very little impact, but it's certainly going to be frigid out there during the overnight. The rain starting to fill in, as you can see, across west Alabama. I'll be right back. We'll take a closer look at that 7-day forecast. And also, before we go to break right now, someone that I think we should check in with, it's getting closer to Christmas time. I don't think we can blame Santa for this. I think we should blame Jack Frost. But meteorologist Fred Hunter had a chance to check in with the big man.
Well, we have been talking about a lot of cold air coming south for Christmas Eve and for Christmas Day. Doesn't look like we're going to get a white Christmas, but whatever the Christmas season brings, there's one guy I know who is uniquely qualified to deal with it, cold, snow, whatever it is, and that is my friend Santa Claus. Santa, how are you doing, and how are preparations going for this Christmas Eve?
Oh, it's good to see you, Fred. Things are going extremely well. I'm actually studying up on some of the local terrain in airports, and I'm just double checking that the airport elevation there in Birmingham, Alabama is 644 feet, because Santa does like to fly low.
Yeah. And
you are correct, whatever weather I have, I deal with it and go. Santa likes the cold air. Those 2 jet engines on those KC-25 sleigh really loves the cold air and perform, and so do the reindeer.
Well, I was going to say, now the reindeer, I mean, you guys live at the North Pole the year round, so the cold is certainly nothing new to you. Maybe you're not used to it being this cold by the time you get to Alabama, though, but you've got your Christmas preparations pretty much complete, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. We're actually loading up the sleigh as we speak. Looks like it's going to be a heavy takeoff in that cold air, because Santa does have 2 Kringle 3000 jet turbine engines on the sleigh now, rated at each 500 reindeer power each. And the cold air and the thick air helps in the performance. And, you know, we struggle a little bit in the Christmas spirit sometimes for hemisphere below the equator because of the hot, humid conditions. So that's a little bit extra help there down there delivering toys to the good girls and boys down there.
All right, well, I know you got a lot of work to do, so I won't hold you up much longer, Santa, but for those youngsters who are watching, it's going to be very cold. I know you want them to stay warm, but they don't need to worry about the flight of Santa Claus. You got your big red coat there behind you. You are all set, and hey, we're ready to see you, Santa.
Well, I appreciate that. Santa loves all the good girls and boys of the world, and never fear, regardless of what weather, I'll be there. And I want to thank you so much, Fred, for always staying on top of the weather and helping Santa out and our elves at the North Pole, Pole Global Weather Office. And I would like to do a surprise for you right now. If you would, I want to make you an honorary elf of our global weather operation.
All right, how do we do that, Santa? I know you got your Santa magic.
I do. You raise your right hand, touch your nose. I hereby, as Santa Claus, declare you Elf Freddy. Here's Santa's Christmas spirit from his heart coming out to you. I declare you Elf Freddy.
I got it, Santa. It's Santa Claus here on WBRC Fox 6 First Alert Weather Extra. Merry Christmas, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
If your shower or bath looks like this, it's time for an upgrade. Hey everybody, Joe here with BJ Wurzen, owner of West Shore Home, to talk about how West Shore is evolving the customer experience to provide seamless remodeling projects to homeowners all across America. BJ.
Joe, we know a lot of people are looking to knock out some remodeling projects before the holidays get here, but the busyness of those holidays can really slow down those plans. So I want to let everybody know they can get those projects done right now and it won't be a big disruption to their life.
Well, BJ, how are you doing that?
So everything we do is designed to be fast, easy, and convenient for our customers. And it all starts with that initial call. If you pick up the phone and call the number on the screen right now, it'll be answered by a live representative. They'll be able to answer all your questions about the shower bath project, but more importantly, find a time to have one of our design consultants come out to the home for that free in-home consultation. We even do evening and Saturday appointments to make it most convenient for the homeowner.
In that design consultation, that's where the homeowner chooses the styles and options to create a bath space that they're really going to love.
Right, we'll bring out one of these and let them design the bath of their dreams. They want to move forward. We have multiple financing options designed to fit any family's budget. And the best part is we have instant credit decisioning.
So no waiting, they'll know on the spot whether they're approved. Okay, how about financing offers? Do you have something special for us today?
We have something really special right now that we're doing just for the holiday season. It's going to be 18 months with no payments and no interest. That means you don't have to make a payment on this project until after next holiday season. And for a limited time, we're going to do free installation on all shower and bath projects.
Again, no worries about making a single payment until 18 months after the project is installed. That's incredible, BJ. Thanks so much, folks. Shower and bath remodeling has never been easier. Call West Shore Home now and take advantage of this great offer. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Call in now to get 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. Plus, you heard BJ, for a limited time, West Shore Home is doing free installation on all shower and bath projects. This is an offer you do not want to miss. Call West Shore Home now.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Always great hearing from Santa Claus, and he'll be rolling in with temperatures about 15 degrees there on Christmas morning. 22 for tomorrow for a high temperature. Those lows staying in the teens. There's a chance on Christmas Day we could jump up to 34 degrees. Monday and Tuesday, highs in the 40s. It's going to be like a heat wave compared to what we're going to be dealing with. The 7-day forecast looks dry. Just some temperature extremes that we're tracking here. Beyond the 7-day forecast, though, New Year's Eve, want to give you a first alert. We are tracking a system that will bring some rain and possibly some stormy weather. So next weekend, a little bit of a different story, but some big changes will be coming later in the week. So be watching for that in the 7-day forecast. All right, let's get into it here. We're watching on radar. There's Birmingham, and you can see some wet weather starting to move in out here. It was looking like out around parts of Jefferson County out here towards Toadvine, a few showers. There's another another look. We're covered up out around Lake Tuscaloosa, back towards Pier 43 and Samantha. You look south towards Melville, also some showers right now. This is all wet weather, but this is the leading edge of that front that is now moving in Double Springs back towards Haleyville. There's another look there at those showers spreading in from west to east, and you can see where the dividing line is, where the really cold air is right there. You can almost make the line out. Look at that. That is some dense cold air, and what an abrupt shift there. We go from rain over to a brief burst of snow, and then that's it. And then the frigid air settles in, the ice cold air that's moving in from the west direction. But you go further south and there's just not a lot of precipitation in here with this, as maybe a few flurries. In fact, if you look back to the west into Arkansas, there's the clearing line right there with the clouds right behind that precipitation moving in. But that cold air, it is on the way. Let's go over to our 24-hour forecast map, and the model data is doing a pretty good job with this and picking up where we have the rain right now. There's 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, you can see a pretty good chance there. By 9 o'clock, we'll have some of this wet weather into East Alabama, and we could see a little bit of snow to the far northwest, perhaps around 9:30, 10, but it's a brief window, if any. I still think further south before it all ends, we may see a few snow flurries, but look at those temperatures. 5 a.m., 12, 8 degrees, some cold stuff there early in the day. Looking at that big drop in temperatures, again, there's a look at tomorrow, and you can see starting out in the single digits, afternoon temperatures will only top out in the 20s across our area. First alert for dangerous wind chills. Every time we look at this, I mentioned earlier on the news, it seems like those numbers get even lower, but this is really driven by those high wind speeds. We'll have gusts possibly as high as 30 miles per hour or greater there during the day tomorrow. Wind chills as low as -16 around Coleman, -11, Gadsden, Anniston. Saturday, winds not quite as gusty, so we have backed off on the wind chills just a bit there for Saturday morning, but 0 degrees, -3, still way colder than what we're adjusted to around here. And expect those dangerous wind chills there again early on Saturday. Looks like Monday, again next week, mainly dry. We'll be tracking that chance of rainfall later on in the week. But we want to head back over to Tania. And Tania, you're breaking down where we have some of these warnings and advisories. I know for some of us, you see there's a wind chill warning, and then there's a wind chill advisory. Maybe you can break down the difference for us there.
Yeah, exactly, Wes. So we're talking about right now a hard freeze warning in place, and that means this is in effect until Friday at midnight into Sunday at 9 a.m. And the difference between a warning is that we're actually going to see this over the area. Advisory means that, hey, we're on the lookout, we're paying attention, it could be likely. But as a warning is in place, well, it means that we're going to see a hard freeze as we head into the overnight hours tonight with temperatures from 5 to 15 degrees. So you're going to want to keep those 4 P's in mind. We talked a little bit about that safety and how you can prepare for these cold temperatures. So Saturday morning, we're talking about our weekend forecast now into your holiday weekend. Saturday morning, which is your Christmas Eve, we're expecting those temperatures to be in the single digits, really, really cold. So Hamilton at 7 degrees Saturday morning. This is at 7 a.m. Not that you'll be awake, you'll probably be snuggled up. Hey, listen, it sounds like a good plan in place because listen, it's going to be too cold to be outside, I'll tell you that. 8 degrees in Pell City, 9 degrees in Talladega, 7 degrees in Ashland. We're looking at temperatures far below the teens at this point. We're looking at temps almost 5 degrees. Can you imagine how cold that would be? As the moment you step outside, literally you'll freeze. So here's our Christmas Eve forecast. We're seeing those temperatures by 9 a.m. get into the teens, but not getting much warmer as we head into the afternoon on your Christmas Eve. 3 p.m. only in the upper 20s, so still below freezing. It's going to be a cold one. Now, I will tell you this. We are expecting some sunshine, though, so at least the sun will be out, but it may not feel like it because it's going to be so chilly out there. And so here's the wind chill that Wes was talking about earlier, too, because when we mix in those gusty winds, well, it can make it feel even colder outside. So for Saturday morning, we won't see it as effective or as bad as we will tonight and into your Friday, but Saturday morning is still going to feel cold with a light wind out there, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Those gusts, not as likely though, but we are seeing those wind chills feel like in the negatives at -2 degrees for my friends in Pell City. It can feel like 4 degrees if you're in Centerville and -3 degrees in Hamilton. So really, really cold couple of days into your Christmas weekend. So let's talk about Christmas Christmas morning, for the day that you're waking up, heading downstairs to open up those Christmas gifts, to see what Santa brought you. Well, I'll tell you this, Santa's going to be hopefully back inside at this point, because temperatures still going to be pretty chilly out there for your Christmas morning. 15 degrees in Birmingham, 13 degrees in Ashland, 15 degrees if you're in Alexander City. Really, really cold Christmas morning as well too. It's going to be the good morning to have I'm choking on the hot chocolate just thinking about it. A cup of hot cocoa for your Christmas morning sounds like a good idea, because it's still going to be really cold out there. So here's your hourly forecast for your Christmas day. We're going to see temperatures get slightly warmer than what we saw on Christmas Eve, staying in the teens for your 7 a.m. hour, but as we head into the later afternoon, we're going to see temperatures reach just about the freezing mark. Still only a high about 33 degrees for your Christmas morning, for your Christmas day. So the wind chill on Christmas Day, on your Sunday at 7 a.m., we'll see it not be as bad as it is on Saturday. So we're starting to see slightly things get better as we head into the later this weekend. So for your Sunday at 7 a.m., temperatures will feel like they're still in the single digits, so still pretty cold, but a little bit warmer if you're further south and to the west over there towards Utah, Greensboro, Marion, feeling like it's 15 degrees. I know I said a little warmer, that's still really cold. So we're seeing some record low temperatures for our Christmas, and we are keeping track of how cold it's gotten in the past. Birmingham in 1989 was 1 degrees for December 23rd. Now Tuscaloosa was at 2 degrees 1989, and then 1989 in Anniston only 7 degrees. So we've seen colder Christmases and holiday weekends than we're seeing this weekend. Also for Christmas Eve though, 4 degrees in Birmingham 1989. It seems like 1989 set that record, and we're not going to quite get there. Possibly get pretty close though. We're seeing cold temperatures, and here are the top 5 coldest Christmas Eves that we've seen in the past couple of years. 1989 has reached it. That's our record, okay? But then number 5 we saw was in 1967 at 21 degrees. So we've had some more colder Christmases in the past, and I don't know if we're going to make the leaderboard this year. But Wes, how are you feeling about this cold?
I'm not liking it. I mean, I'm already kind of in the mood, Tania. I just cannot stay warm. It's just been crazy. It's already, you can feel the chill in the air. This was video. This came in from our weather watcher, Tyler Young. Friend Nick Trammell shares this with us, and he's in Merrill, Iowa. We've got negative 12 temperature, minus 41 wind chill, wind gust up to 45 miles per hour. You can see whiteout blizzard conditions happening there in that area. That's what a lot of the country's dealing with. So major winter weather impacts all across the country right here at the Christmas weekend. I will be right back. Final look at the 7-day forecast, and we'll be back to wrap up the show. Stay with us. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra.
Adopt an angel and help a child in need.
We're making it easy this holiday season for you to give back through the WBRC Fox 6 News Gifts for Kids Salvation Army Angel Tree program.
There are many ways you can adopt an angel now through December 5th.
In person at the outlet shops at Grand River or the River Chase Galleria.
Online at birminghamsalvationarmy.org.
At participating Chick-fil-A Stuff the Bus location.
Or the Walmart online registry.
For more information, visit WBRC.com and our WBRC News app.
Donate today.
First Alert, we are tracking
In times like this,
we now have a tornado warning that's active.
having a way to see and hear what's happening on your phone,
The most intense part of this storm right now is tracking towards Shelby County.
that means everything.
Okay, you need to get in your safe place now. Stay there. We will let you know when this warning expires. Stay with us.
Download the First Alert Weather app today. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
The Birmingham Waterworks story is one we've been on for years and breaking some stories lately that are getting some results. Starting with the Waterworks Board deciding they may not raise your rates as much as they had first thought because of pushback from ratepayers based on our reporting. And then with the attention we brought to this, the Attorney General's office is stepping in, demanding hundreds of pages of documents before the utility does anything about raising your rates. We've been on your side on this story. We'll stay on your side. You stay with us on our WBRC News app.
All right, get ready for that major drop in temperatures already. That front closing in on West Alabama. First alert weather days tomorrow and for Christmas Eve for the extreme cold. Temperatures highs in the 20s, lows down into the teens, wind chills below zero for tomorrow, especially those gusty winds tonight. Still can see a little bit of snow in some areas. We're going to be tracking that for you coming up on the news. Be sure to join us starting at 9 on WBRC Fox 6 and updates also on the WBRC First Alert Weather app.